And I haven't broken a bone.
Oh my goodness.
Bionic woman. But I have slipped 3 discs in my back.
Yeah, that's...
when I was 16. And then, so yeah, it is a weak spot.
Oh, we both went, ooh. When her dog
that
came
subject.
in,
Oh, don't
not
tell
only
everyone what happened.
did they make positive Kenny into a negative Kenny, also left a little treat for all the workers upstairs in the office.
And all my friends right now will be saying to themselves, Tetley did a
I'm not sure it was cute.
But nowadays,
Yeah.
you've got to make mistakes to learn.
We fell over a massive fence and she landed on top of me.
And then I remember riding this really big one and he was cold back, chucked me straight off, and then after that, back problems.
I would say I'm a confident rider up until last year when I had a mega bad dog attack.
Yeah.
And it attacked like me, my husband, baby. I think since COVID and lockdown, dogs are more out of control than ever because of the overbreeding in lockdown. Hi guys, and welcome to Behind the Counter with HH. We're super excited. This is our first ever episode, and joining me today is Jodie Frost herself.
Hello.
And Miss Charlotte Wake.
Like,
I'm not cutting that out. Charlotte Wake. I was like, can I just call you Miss Thomas? No, why?
No,
why?
she's
whoever.
I'll be whoever you
I'll be
want.
whoever.
On my letter we have. So yeah, I'm happy that you're all joining us today, and we're going to be running this every week on a Tuesday night, so do make sure you join in regularly at 7 p.m. It will be launching every single week with me and the girls, and we'll be talking about anything horsey, equestrian related. We want to get you guys involved, so do make sure that you keep telling us all your stories in the comments below. So to get this kick started, we are going to be starting with the big one. In the equestrian world, it is confidence. Literally, confidence. So, yeah. Start out, Jode. Have you ever had a confidence blip? You better say never. Never, ever.
Yes, riding.
Yeah. Horse, it could be anything like horse riding.
I have after a fall, yes. Years ago on my old horse, we fell over a massive fence and she landed on top of me, and then coming into a fence after that, my belly would go
Oh, really?
and I just used to like pull her away. So it took me a long time I had to start all the way, little fences, build it back up until I felt comfortable again. But I'd always get that feeling going into a triple or a double again, like every time. But I'd known her a long time, so she was like, I got this, Mum.
What horse was it?
Hubble, a little thoroughbred.
Oh.
So she was super whizzy and she'd jump anything, but she caught her leg on a fence and flipped.
Wow.
Show jumped as well. It's because I wedged the pole in the wing.
Did you have?
Don't do that, kids.
Was it stitches or anything?
No, she landed on my leg, so my leg was black all the way down it. I didn't go to hospital or anything.
Really?
Yeah, horse riders don't.
No, we're
No.
hardcore.
I dragged it round for a few weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we are
that's
hardcore,
probably
aren't
my
we?
worst. Yeah.
Do you not find now after riding, because you ride quite a few different horses, that you're confident? Do you just get on them and you're confident? Or
Yeah, most of the time I will get on one. A few times if I've heard it's done something in the past, I'll be a little bit. I think as I've got older, I've definitely got more cautious. Yeah. Like 20-year-old me would have got on anything, literally anything. And if it flung me off, I would have just got back on like a rag doll.
You don't bounce the same
I will
anymore.
conquer it, but yeah, now I am definitely, because you've got to work, haven't you? You've got to pay your bills, pay for your horses.
Yep.
And obviously I don't want to hurt myself and not be able to ride my own for the sake of helping someone sort something out with theirs. So yeah, definitely less confident as you get older, I think.
I was going to say, I think when you're in your 40s as well, you don't bounce as good.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything
You
hurts
don't.
a
It
lot
hurts.
more.
Even
Getting
in
out of
your
bed
30s, you don't
hurts.
bounce as well.
Can't remember that time. It's so long ago.
Getting out of bed
Honestly.
hurts.
Yeah. So have you ever had stitches from a riding accident?
Oh God, yeah.
That's
I've had 11 stitches across my face here because a horse trod on my face.
Really? You can't say.
I know, it was some good knitting. But I took
Good
them out
knitting.
I took them out
With
myself
knitting needles.
because I didn't want to go back to hospital, so I cut them out in the bathroom mirror.
Oh, you didn't? No, you didn't.
Because I was dead young and I'd have to get the bus because my dad was working and I don't like getting buses. So I just thought, scissors, cut them all out.
Have you ever had stitches?
No. touch wood. In fact, we've got no wood in here, have we?
My head.
My
I've
leg.
not had stitches.
Wooden leg.
And I haven't broken a bone.
Oh my goodness.
I don't
Bionic
have,
woman.
but I have slipped 3 discs in my back.
Yeah, that's
when I was 16.
Is that through horses?
I think so. I used to ride, like you, I used to ride anything, the naughtier the better.
Yeah.
And then I remember riding this really big one, and he was cold back, chucked me straight off, and then after that, back problems.
Really?
So
How old was you when that happened?
Must have been about 15 when it happened, and then it wasn't until I was about 16 when I was still like dragging my back round and couldn't walk. That I was like,
Is that
yes.
still like present day or?
It's probably
You
fed
fixed
to the
it?
problems.
Really?
Yeah,
In
that's how she
present
gets. That's
day.
how she gets where we lifted all the heavy boxes when we do hoys.
Oh, the back.
Oh, my back!
But, so I had like spinal surgery,
I might try that.
and then it took me probably 6 months then to get back on a horse.
You had spinal surgery?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know this.
Keep
We're finding
it
everything
as
out on
a
this podcast.
secret.
Just a little bit about
Just a
me.
little bit, just froze out. I just had spinal,
spinal
surgery.
surgery.
Yeah, I had
Like
3
it's nothing.
discs trimmed away. And then,
Ooh.
so yeah, it is a weak spot.
Oh, we both went, ooh.
Yeah, it's a bit creepy. But I didn't cut my own stitches off.
Have you got a
after.
scar?
I do have a scar.
Can we see it?
For you, Jodie, you can have a little look later.
Oh.
Private after hours.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I've, well, I know.
Never had
I've
stitches.
Never, well, have you had stitches? No, I haven't had stitches. I've hurt my back. I've had some really bad falls. I had a really good fall once, actually, though, because I landed on my feet.
Yeah,
And
that's
I was
a,
so,
lucky
and
fall.
it
that's a
happened
win.
to-
That's a win.
Yeah, honestly, I know. Do you know when you have a fall where you're like dead chuffed? It's like,
Don't you
yeah,
find
I
stood
had a
there?
fall.
Did anyone see that?
I was like, landed on my feet.
Don't you find though afterwards when you stood there, like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Like,
Is
I
that
had
joke?
one
Your
where I
worst
ended
bit
up
is
on
that
my feet and
moment
looked at the horse.
when you know you're gonna fall,
Yeah.
and you know you can't save yourself, and you're
Yeah.
just gonna have to hope for the best.
It's almost like
It's like slow motion, isn't it? And a million things go through your head, like,
I'm
what
gonna
did you get?
die.
Yeah, like how can I save myself? And you can't.
My biggest fear is having my foot stuck in the stirrup though.
That's mine.
Yeah, I
That is
saw a
mad.
video on Facebook the other day
Oh,
of
it's
a
horrible.
Can
girl
we
getting
watch
her
it?
foot stuck in a safety stirrup though. You know these new ones.
I've seen
Yeah.
that
I
video.
won't say
I
the
think.
name.
Yeah.
And she got really dragged. It was only the fact her boot ripped
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
saved her. And I was like,
Can we
Oh,
really wear
lots of-
peacock stirrups at 41 years of age, though?
You can wear whatever
Them little
you
ones
no,
with
you
the
have to
elastic
spend
bands
£300
inside.
now for a safety stirrup.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is
God.
mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like
I've had a couple of falls. Like I say, my great fall was the one where I landed on my feet. That was epic. I don't think it'll ever happen again.
You could
I've done like
Try
over the
being a
head
stunt
ones.
I've got Oreo to come yet.
yeah.
Oh God, yeah. What, getting a youngster and then you're 41.
Yeah.
You think about it a lot more when you're older. I definitely do. Like I remember when I got back, even those 10 years ago make such a difference to then at 31 versus now at nearly 41 next week.
Yeah.
I'm now gearing up to.
Looking out for a birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to me. I'm actually in my head. I never thought it with Vasco, and he was the same age Oreo is now, ready to go.
Yeah.
But now I'm a bit more like, because I know I've got a 1-year-old. I'm like, if I fall off,
Yeah.
like seriously, I'm going to get in work, whatever, break
I
something.
think you overthink everything else.
Who's
don't
going
you,
to
as
pick
you
my
get
baby
older?
up if I can't move because I'm popping about
Yeah.
everywhere? Like, so I do get more like worried now.
I'm the same though. Like since having the kids, I fully evaluate everything that I do with the horse, and it can just be on the ground, like
Yeah.
leading to and from the field.
Well,
If
you
horse-
had a bit of a blip, didn't you, where you were thinking
Yeah.
of selling him? Just
I don't like a horse leading one in. They have to either be diagonal to me or next to me. If they're walking behind me, I just feel like they're going to run me over.
So is that like the thing that you like relay in your head, like your vision?
Yeah,
Because I think your confidence thing is something that you vision happening that's not actually happened, but you're telling yourself it's going to happen,
Yeah.
and then the fear kicks in, doesn't
yeah,
it?
I had a really nasty kick in a field off a horse. I think it was a year and a half ago now, maybe even 2 years ago. And she double barreled me in the field. And
Wow.
and it took a long time. Like it hurt for about 6 months. But going back to work after having like 3 weeks off, and then knowing I had to lead that horse and
Yeah.
deal with it definitely made me wary because it was still hurting as well when I went back.
Yeah.
So probably went back.
Did it affect your livelihood in terms of, because you do clipping, don't you? Like,
Yeah, I couldn't do anything. I literally had to
So you
sit
lost
on my
money?
sofa. Yeah, for like I sat and slept on the sofa literally for a week. I just couldn't move. It was the most painful thing that's ever happened. Do not do that.
Wow.
Don't stand in the wrong place. And she caught me right here, so back of my ribs, my lungs. Like I was coughing up.
You were lucky then.
Yeah, really lucky.
Had she done it before the horse? Or?
She has she had like been awkward coming in. So I was like, 10 men, I'll go and do it. Bridle, hat on, whip, treats, everything to get her. But she had a habit of spinning on you and actually aiming for you.
Wow.
Once she'd got hold of it.
Once I'd got hold of her and led her across the field, as soon as I put my guard down to open the gate, she just span, and I literally like went airborne and landed on my hands and knees. It was awful.
Wow.
But that worried me. It was weird though, just dealing with her, but it made me cautious of other horses in the field on the ground. What can happen? You forget, don't you?
Yeah, of course
you literally forget. They're so quick and dangerous that one kick, you know, you hear vile stories.
I think with yours as well, you're
Yeah.
doing it day in, day out as a job, and you've got like new horses
Oh,
coming
you
through.
forget.
I mean, your confidence gets a lot better when you know that horse inside
Yeah,
out, doesn't it? And
definitely.
it takes a long time when you get a new horse to build that confidence up. And I think anyone that says they don't have confidence issues is lying a bit, because I think confidence is just, or fear, they're all kind of related. I think fear is just,
I think
that
you
common
get
sense kicking in.
complacent and you can forget that how
Yeah.
dangerous they are. Because I clip loads of different people's horses and I trust what they tell me. And now and again, I've just, because it's been so good doing most of the areas, and there's a quick kick and they've caught my leg, and it's a quick reminder, like, God, what if I was bent down there and that was my head? Like, I don't wear a hat when I'm clipping, probably should.
Yeah.
But it's just, you get so trustworthy of them. And even horses that I've clipped, remember when I had that huge black eye?
Yeah.
And I clipped that horse for years, and it was New Year's Eve, and we were chatting away, and I was just took myself off guard for a minute, and she just flipped her leg up really quick and kneed me in the face. And I mean, that was awful, wasn't it?
Do you think like most accidents happen on the ground? I have heard that people say that.
I wouldn't be surprised,
I
you
think
know.
there's a good
Yeah.
share between them both.
There's this. I read a survey a long time ago, and it was saying like majority of accidents do happen
Yeah.
on the ground.
And I think people are more complacent on the ground. Like, if I know that, say, Oakley's going to be silly, I'd rather be sat on him
Yeah, me
than leading
too.
him or lunging him or anything like that. I'll always ride over lunging, even if he hasn't been sat on for 10 days.
Yeah.
Because I just feel safer. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
It's like when some people
On
get
top-
off to go past something spooky when I'd rather sit on,
Yeah.
because what if you let go with them
What
or
if
they
you lose
span?
them?
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
Down the
I'd lose-
M60.
But then, like, the fear is that he's going to injure someone because he's loose.
Yeah.
Not if he goes and injures himself, that's on him, and I wouldn't want that. But I'm scared that he'll hurt someone else.
Yeah, if you ran into the road and caused an
Yeah.
accident,
Yeah.
or
My instructor said, an instructor that I had years ago, and I always remember it in my head. He said, "A forward horse is a safe horse," and I kind of believe that in a way, because they're not thinking backwards, are they?
No.
You know, just keep them forward. But sometimes when you freeze up, or you're genuinely having a bit of a fear moment, you kind of tend to, you're freezing up and you're telling them to stop.
Yeah.
But to keep them going, I think it's actually a lot safer
Yeah.
sometimes, isn't
yeah, if
it?
in doubt, kick.
Kick on.
Kick on.
Pony club.
So what would you say? I know you said like your fear is this getting your foot caught.
Get my foot caught, losing them if they're out somewhere.
Do you think about it before it happens? Is this a woman thing that we do? I'm a bit like Final Destination where I think something in my head.
because I know that he's done something in the past, like just coming in from the field, and it wasn't awful, but just knowing that it had happened,
can do
I'd
it.
maybe think about it. But then when I first got him, we went for a hack, didn't even think twice. I'd seen him hacking up the A38 in Gloucester. I was like,
Wow.
brilliant, we'll go. And then we were overtaken by a car at about 70. And then after that, he was spinning to go to the horse behind, or he'd canter like a few steps to get to the horse in front of him if something passed him. And then after I got back, I dealt with it at the time, because I think you're kind of in that fight or flight mode, that you do just survive to get home safely. It was at night when I got home, and I'm sat at home thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And then it puts me off then for going again.
And then he needed your confidence
Yeah.
next time, don't they, to
Yeah.
get through it. But it's hard to
And I
put
did
your mind
take
over
him.
matter.
We did the same route the next day, and he was scared. And because I was
Aw.
like feeling a bit vulnerable,
You just had the baby as well.
I'd had the baby. I'd probably only had him 3 weeks, and I didn't know him. Like, what's his panic mode? Like, if you don't know their panic mode, you're not
Yeah.
sure what you're gonna get.
or what they benefit from and how best to do it. Because some horses, they all have different ways of what works best for them, don't they?
Exactly.
And it's finding their character and what you're successful with.
Whereas if
With
I was
what
on
works.
Sunny, all he used to do was grow and like jog a little bit. Like, if you just tuck your legs as far away from the side, he'd be okay.
Yeah.
But you could ride him into battle and you know that he'd be all right.
Yeah, because you knew him inside out.
Yeah.
It just takes a long time to build that with them, doesn't it? And then
Yeah.
once you've got it, like,
Yeah.
it's
Do you think some
easier.
people have like, I've seen like comments in the past where people tend to be either mega confident in the school and not out hacking, or the mega confident hacking and for some reason they just feel more fearful in school? Like, do you think that like that's the thing? Do you feel like the same level on,
I think
on both?
over the last 10 years or so, people have got more reluctant to hack because the roads are busier.
Yeah.
People are careless on the roads, they're always rushing, they're not bothered if they see
No.
you. I mean, we have to go on an estate at the top of our lane to go where any of our hacking routes, and it's a 20-mile-an-hour zone in places, and people fly past you, and it's just stupid.
Yeah.
But I think that stops people hacking, or there's more incidents, so then they don't want to hack.
There is a lot more incidents though, isn't there?
And you're more aware, aren't you, with social media?
Social media, yeah. You see more and more videos though. More and
Yeah.
more videos are coming up. There was one the other week, was it the Palomino?
The dog.
What was that one? Did you see?
That was a dog attack, wasn't
Yeah,
it? A dog chased it and the horse bolted into the road. It was just horrendous.
You'd be devastated, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
So
Oh, it
funny.
makes me feel
It's
awful.
horrible.
Well, do you remember when we went to the park? I had like my most fearful. I would say I'm a confident rider up until last year when I had a mega bad dog attack.
Yeah.
And it attacked like me, my husband, baby. And then obviously because it was on the road, that I didn't realise that because my baby was only a couple of weeks
Yeah,
old,
it was
I didn't
awful.
realise the impact it would have on me, on my horse, because it was on the road. And then the moment I was just got on my horse, went out on the road like I would always do, and then I just was literally like this. And I thought, that's got to have come from the dog attack. I've never
Yeah.
experienced that in my life. And then we went on the park, and
Yeah.
luckily you was with me. We went on the Brabbins Park to have like a canter and a gallop, and then all of a sudden this lovely daft puppy dog
Yeah.
came out of nowhere and came running over to us, which I don't think really should happen when you're on a pony exercise, but it's
Definitely
built
not.
for horses.
Yeah,
And then the dog
But
didn't
it shouldn't
look
happen
nasty.
anywhere, should it? 'Cause
No.
dogs should have, if you're going to have them off in a situation like that, it should have a recall, shouldn't
Definitely.
it?
Yeah. Well, the dog came running over, and I was literally had tears in my eyes, and I was
You just froze.
I was just like this, and when I looked at my hands, I was like full on shaking.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the most scared, because I'm used to being a confident rider. I was quite gutted in myself to go from feeling not having them nerves to then having them, because it takes the enjoyment out of it, doesn't it?
And then you're constant, if you're like going out for a ride or you've gone somewhere, you're going to be constantly looking around you to
Yeah.
see if there's any dogs. Instead
Yeah.
of like just relaxing, enjoying your ride,
Yeah.
you're going to be looking, even though you're not trying to look.
Yeah.
You're just naturally
I'm
going to
like,
do
where-
it.
And luckily for you, Basco
Yeah.
was so good, because if he'd reacted as well,
Yeah.
then it could have set you even worse, couldn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
But he looked after you, and we kind of just got away. Well, I think I screamed. Some
Yeah.
Some polite words.
Because I think you knew that obviously I was suffering.
shouted some polite language at the dog owner.
I think you knew I was suffering like really bad PTSD.
Yeah.
I was like, with that dog attack, it was that bad. I just came off all socials. Like I hid for like a year, and everyone's just under a year. And I was like, where have you gone? And I'm like,
In my
I'm
kitchen.
still here. Just in my kitchen for the last year, thinking about this dog. But yeah, it was truly horrific. And obviously, it wasn't horse related, that event, but I think it certainly goes into the horse thing,
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
more and more and
Yeah.
more now, I think since COVID and lockdown, dogs are more out of control than ever because of the overbreeding in lockdown.
People wouldn't have been able to have
We
like
have-
any outside like professional help training them as well. Like there'd been no dog schools. They would have just been, I guess, home trained. Like we got a puppy in COVID.
One of those
She
irresponsible.
wasn't a COVID puppy. We always were going to have another dog, but she didn't get the same training Harvey had. Even though she's very good,
Well, you couldn't
and she's
socialise them as
obedient,
well, could you?
she just
Yeah.
didn't have that socialisation. So now that she can go out and we're in an area where we've got places that we can go and walk her, like at first I wouldn't let her off the lead, petrified that I'd never see her again.
But that's you being responsible as well, because you're
Yeah.
not confident in it. You keep them on the lead, so you're confident in your dog. You
But
know?
then Ben will take her and he'll have her off playing with the dogs in this field. And she's absolutely fine, loving life. Whereas I just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It might stem to other things though as well. Like if you think she doesn't come back to you, you know what it's like if you're riding a horse and things
Yeah.
like that. It can all be linked, can't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my lovely little dog off
Carrot killer.
Carrot killing.
Where is the dead carrot?
Where's the dead
Positive
carrot?
Kenny.
So you're still bringing her in work? Jodie brought her dog into work because she was doing the shop.
She killed Kenny.
And she killed Kenny, ripped him apart.
She'll have a hate group on Facebook after her.
You killed Kenny! Killed one of his family members.
He's just a bit dishevelled and he's no longer positive.
He'll always be positive.
He's bad day, Kenny.
You're left with negative Kenny now.
Negative Kenny.
You can have a negative Kenny. We got positive ones. We were laughing
gotta
though
be
because
firm.
when they come through in the box, I mean, they're standard size, but we did get a load of them. We all been like, whoa, Kenny's
Some
been
really
on steroids.
big ones, wasn't there?
Why is this
And
one
different
looks like that
shades of
one
orange.
from The Simpsons? What's he
I
called?
think his hair's got a
Crazy.
bit permy, hasn't it?
Why has he got giant hair?
What's he called? That's not
We
really
could
right.
auction this Kenny off.
Do you know what he was
Would you
called?
like a
The
negative
Simpsons.
Kenny?
No, it wasn't Bart. It was the
Do you know
kind
who-
of the villain
Madge?
guy.
Oh,
No.
He had like the
Is
long...
it the clown?
He wasn't the
clown?
clown, he was another one. I'm going to have to
It
Google
looks like that though, doesn't it?
No,
Krusty.
not Krusty. That was the clown. I'm going to have to Google it.
Krusty.
It does look like that.
He's got a perm.
He's
No,
got
I
better
mean-
hair than mine.
Do you know what though? We love giving these little Kennys out, but everybody absolutely loves them. And obviously, he's a positive carrot, so it's kind of like related to the confidence thing. And as a brand, you know, one of the things we always want to do is make sure women have got, you know, the best confidence they can have. So yeah,
Kenny helps.
little Kenny
Sideshow
there.
Bob.
That's
Sideshow
it.
Bob.
That's it.
Never heard of it.
Do you watch The
Google him.
Simpsons?
What's that?
Google him.
Google.
So
What's
he got sideshow
Sideshow
Bob.
Bob.
Yes, he looks a spit of it.
Oh, it does.
Let me have a look.
Everyone Google Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Ken.
Oh wow, sideshow Ken. We're missing a thing there. Maybe we'll bring an uncle out for him. But yeah, no, everybody loves these little
Yeah,
cats.
they're so cute.
I've
I've
got
got
that.
one in my car.
Not negative one.
I've got one in my embroidery room. Isabella's got about 10.
she
one in my
pockets them
car.
when she comes.
Yeah, every time she
steals
comes
it.
in, she's like, "I'll have it."
Should
please.
have seen her with the basket last week.
She had a little basket and kept
Yeah.
putting them all in, doesn't
Aw.
she? So cute.
That's her
Maybe
toy
we
for
need
Christmas.
a friend for Kenny.
Yeah, but you changed the subject about your dog, by the way.
Sorry.
Because you didn't want me to.
I was
mention
trying to like
When her
diffuse
dog
that
came
subject.
in,
Oh, don't
not
tell
only
everyone what happened.
Did they make positive Kenny into a negative Kenny? We don't like that.
Don't tell everybody.
Also left a little treat for all the workers upstairs in the office.
And all my friends right now will be saying to themselves, Tatley did a shit. Bleep.
Beep, beep. And we wasn't aware of this
Nor was I would have picked it
until
up.
the following Monday in the office when everybody comes in and somebody casually goes round to pick something and there's an iPhone emoji poo on the floor. It didn't look like an emoji poo.
Was it a curly one? A cute one?
It was an
Is
emoji.
it cute?
At least it was a cute shit.
I'm not sure it was
Can
cute.
you get cute poo?
She had to shit out the positivity that she hates.
Oh lordy. Well, we hope you've enjoyed discussing all about confidence and we want to hear your stories below. So please do make sure, you know, nothing's out of bounds and make sure you put all your stories about confidence, anything that's funny that's happened to you, that's positive, because other people will be reading it and it's very much like a community base, so that if somebody else reads something and they've been through the same, then obviously it'll uplift them too. So we're going to now be looking into what other customers have written in for us to read out and we'll join you soon. We're really enjoying this episode so far and obviously we really hope that you guys are too. So we're now going to be moving on to everyone that's written into us via email and message on social media. Charlotte, what's your first one?
Yep, so I've got Amy here from Shropshire. She's messaged in to say, I have always been a confident rider, but since I've had children, I find myself overthinking doing something with my horse, or if something has happened which may not have been awful, I find myself reflecting on it in a way from the stables. Oh, I read it all wrong. I'm reflecting on it away from the stables to the point that it puts me off then doing that same exercise or ride again. I try and ride in places that I feel safe and don't tend to push myself out of my comfort zone anymore. I find it frustrating given that I know what I've been capable of doing pre-kids and I wish I could get back to that. I have regular help from instructors, but when I'm alone riding, I feel lost and nervous.
Oh,
Thank you, Amy.
yeah, that was lovely of you to share that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we all go through the nerves. So firstly, Amy, you're not alone.
No.
What do you have any advice for Amy?
I would say have as many lessons as you can while you've got someone there, or even get a friend in the arena with you.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good one.
sometimes if you've got a knowledgeable friend that can stand in the arena and just gives you a bit of confidence, and even if they can give you a bit of advice or pointers when you're riding, or even exercises to take your mind off it, it can be a bit of a distraction from your thoughts.
I definitely think having an
extra body.
extra set of eyes on the ground, just even if they're not really giving you something much to do, it's like comforting for you knowing that someone's there with you.
It's expensive, isn't it, to keep paying
Yeah.
instructors, but
Yeah.
if you've got someone that can stand there and give you a bit of a boost.
And
Yeah.
like small steps, like it doesn't have to be like an hour's session. It could just be like 10 minutes. You've achieved that. You're happy. You're both relaxed. Come away on a good note.
That's
as
a really
well.
good point,
Yeah,
actually.
that
You
is a
do
good
that,
point.
obviously, with training horses as well. You don't go from
Yeah.
1 to 10, you do 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then you'll move on in a few weeks, 2 to 3, and then 3 to
Yeah.
4. It's like a building block, isn't it? I think you need to do that with yourselves. With that focused on what, doing everything to build the horse's confidence, that I do genuinely think we forget about ourselves.
It could be as simple as like bringing your horse in from the field if that's where the issue is. I know that I've had like that problem the last couple of months, and to solve that problem, instead of just relying on the people to help me, I went and did it all myself. So I did the DIY, and I thought, I'm going to bring this horse in by myself, and it has boosted my confidence because I know that I can do him now myself.
Yeah.
And using help, so I signed up for the TRT method, which is great.
I've heard loads say good things about this TRT.
They have like so many different subjects on different aspects of where the problems might be. So I researched on all the ones from coming in from the field, leading, and doing all the groundwork bits, and then putting it into practice. So that's been really helpful. And then just keep repeating in the same area where you're struggling.
Yeah.
So it could be mount. Just even the thought of getting on your horse might be scary. Just mount your horse, got on, get straight back off. You've done it. It's like a small win and a success, and just build from like the bottom again.
And I think it's coming out. Nobody is so easy to say in your comfort zone, and I think anything out of your comfort zone is scary. So I think it's so hard to come out of your comfort zone. But even if you come out of just that little bit, and then a bit further, and then a bit further, it's about coming out of your comfort zones. And then before you know it, that you've come out of the comfort zone, and then it's no longer a fear because you've got over that one, and then you constantly keep pushing yourself as well.
I also think like it's a pretty big thing to just admit that as well. Like it takes
In the
a
horse
lot.
world, it is because you feel like you're going to get judged if you,
Yeah, no.
oh, what, you're scared of a horse or something. Everybody has a moment of fear, and fear is just basically your body. It's your body, common sense kicking in, isn't it? To say this may be a scary situation.
Yeah.
So it's
But I
perfectly
think
normal.
Once you've admitted that,
That's the first step,
That's the
definitely,
first
isn't
step,
it?
and there's so many knowledgeable people, friends, instructors, and where you can afford to have a lesson or just have knowledgeable people helping you along.
And I think professionals have confidence. With
Yeah,
must
they must do.
I mean, you
mustn't
for a
they?
living ride horses every day, don't you?
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you say, you've got kicked and it knocked your confidence. You know, it happens to everybody. So I suppose what we take away from today is, if you're having a confidence blip, don't think it's only you. You know, we all have them as well. And just know that it happens to everyone, and it's perfectly natural to have confidence blips. You've just got to continue going and keep enjoying your horse, haven't you, really?
And just take the time to
and just
build
know you're
it
not
back
alone.
up.
Don't put any pressure on yourself. I think we put massive amounts of pressure on ourselves sometimes.
Social media, isn't it?
And actually, the people around you don't really care. I think you can overthink what everyone else is thinking, especially if you're on a big yard, or, you know, a lot of the time on livery yards, everyone wants to throw the 2 pence in, don't they? And sometimes you can be a bit overwhelmed. Just keep the people that you trust around you small and just work through it with them, rather than kind of take a pinch of everybody's advice, which can sometimes blow your mind and knock you back, really.
Definitely. I've had one in from Miranda from Birmingham, and Miranda says, my confidence took a knock the moment I started the menopause. I became more aware of everything, and having never suffered anxiety before, it came all of a sudden, and I started to get panic attacks. It suddenly hit me, and this transferred into the saddle as well as everyday life. I'm getting better because I visited the doctor, but I must say, remembering a dressage test nowadays takes 6 months, not 6 hours. Oh Lord, to be 20 again.
God, I struggle to remember a dressage test point blank.
I do find though there's something in that the older you get. I definitely think like I've had a child at like 39, and I definitely feel now I'm 40. 41 next week.
Next
Let's
week,
book my
everyone.
birthday.
Next week.
I definitely feel like I am a bit. I'm getting a lot of anxiety in myself at the minute. I definitely feel like there's some sort of perimenopausal thing happening there, and I am so forgetful at the minute. So I really resonate with what Miranda's saying.
I'm just forgetful, genuinely. So,
oh, should we just blame it all? Anything at all at the minute? Keep
yeah,
saying
just
to
say
myself,
it's the
perimenopausal.
You keep hearing it more and more, though, everywhere, don't
Yeah.
you?
Everyone's talking about it more, but I think obviously because it is such a common, I don't know the statistic, but I reckon the majority of women will have hormonal symptoms when they get into like the 40s and
maybe even
you know.
earlier than that. Some
Yeah.
people are a lot earlier.
Yeah.
definitely. Have you got any?
I have.
Jodie?
I have got. Oh, where's it gone? Someone anonymous from Widnes. Recently, I had a nasty fall and I struggled to get back on my horse. And the longer I've left it, the worse it's getting. Even though I know the fall wasn't his fault, I'm starting to think I'm best giving up, as I'm even finding it hard to admit to people around me, as I've always been so confident. I think that's similar to what we've just said, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
again, get friends or instructors. I think it's nice to have one. I like to have a couple of different people, like trainers now and again, but I stick to one person who, like, we've known each other a long
Yeah.
time, and she knows I'm a bit. I can be a bit gung ho and like want to do things what I'm not ready for. That's just
Yeah.
like I like
You're
to push
pushing
myself
forward,
out of the comfort zone. But she knows me, and I think if you've got a trainer that you can relate to, you can be confident in telling them your
Yeah.
problems. And if you find someone like that, they can normally help you. But
Yeah. So you think having confidence in, not just confidence in general, but having confidence in your trainer?
yeah,
as well?
definitely.
You've got,
You've got to
think it's-
believe in them,
yeah.
haven't you?
And
you
have
know?
it and building a nice relationship with one. I mean, it's nice to have different people
Yeah, it's
because
good.
they
I like going.
they
clinics and
notice
stuff.
different things, but I've always found it's nice to have somebody that kind of gets you a little bit.
Yeah.
And some people are like, oh, you're not quite ready for that, don't do it. And I'm like, hell, I'm going to do it anyway.
But then I think if we constantly listen, other than obviously your trainer who knows you best, but if you constantly listen to people telling you you're not ready, you know, at what point do you become ready? You don't
Yeah.
become ready till you go and do
Go and
it.
try
You've
it.
got to try
I
it.
always say to all my liveries, go and give it a go. And like, we have friendly
What's the
dressage
worst
shows.
that can happen?
Yeah, I'm like,
You
you
fail,
fail up a level.
But that's life.
But nowadays,
It builds us.
you've got to make mistakes to learn. And I feel like with social media, but with social media, there is this stigma where everything you put on, every split-second photo has got to be perfect. It's got to be textbook. When you're riding a young horse, you're not going to have textbook pictures.
Nope.
Some of them they're not for social media because you know how people can be, you know, with split-second shots and things. So yeah, I think
you're
you're
judged from everywhere, aren't you?
you
as soon
are
as you put
judged, and I
something
think that
out.
knocks your confidence as well nowadays because people are judging that they don't know anything about you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're judging off a moment. So yeah, to everybody that's written in, thank you so much for sharing your views and your stories. And obviously we really hope that you've got something from this today. So this was episode 1. We have absolutely loved doing this. And thank you guys for joining us. We will be posting these every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So do make sure you join in for episode 2, which is all going to be about horses and partners.
Oh,
Interesting. So yeah, thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Mwah. Thank you. Bye.